Okay, so thank you for joining me on your mat this evening as we go through a vinyasa flow class. Our peak pose for this evening will be crow, so everything leading up to our peak pose will be prepping your body for that. So coming to a kneeling position, make sure that your spine is neutral, that you've got no curve or that you're not rounding, so come to a neutral position. Make sure that your knees are stacked directly beneath your hips and your wrists are in line with your shoulders. I want you now, we're going to move into a cat-cow position, okay? So exhale, lift up, gaze towards your belly button, okay? And inhale into cow. So extend, lift your chest up. Exhale, move back down into cat. Really pushing your fingertips through the mat to get a nice stretch. And inhale into cat. Really try and arch that back. Beautiful. Exhale back down into cat pose. Stay here for a few seconds. I want you to now slightly rock back and forwards between your knees and your wrists, keeping the roundness of the back, okay? What this is allowing us to do is to get a really nice stretch in the wrists, what we're going to use for crow pose later. Slow it down a little bit and rock back and forth. Perfect. Okay. Now I want you to stay at the top and lean forward a little bit more, keeping the roundness in the spine. Round up through your spine, push through your fingertips, perfect, and hold there for a few breaths. Okay, you can now meet me back in a tabletop position. Perfect. Okay. Okay, and from here, we are going to flow. So extend your right leg back, okay, make sure it's straight. Hover it off the ground, and we are now going to take the right knee and hook it onto your right upper tricep over here. So bring it forward, hook, great, and extend your leg back out. Inhale. Exhale, bring your knee straight back up to your tricep, perfect, hold. Really squeeze it in because this is the position we're going to be in for our crow pose at the end of the sequence. And inhale, leg back out. Inhale, bring knee back up to the tricep and hold. From here, I want you to step forward with your right foot, place it on the mat on the outside of your right hand. Perfect. Into lizard pose. So in lizard pose, we take a nice squat into the right leg. So lunge into the right leg, yeah. You can bring your hands a little bit forward, that's perfect. Bring forward, okay. Allow this knee to slightly bend open just so that we get a really nice stretch in the hip here. Option now for this knee, you can either stay on the floor or straighten it. So try and straighten it, tuck your feet under, your toes under, and try straighten it. Do whatever works best for you. Okay, also option here, to stay on your hands or for an increased stretch, come onto your elbows. So drop your hands onto your elbows. If that's too difficult, you can raise back up to your hands. And we hold for a few breaths here. Try to find stillness in your lizard pose. Okay. Yes. Okay, so from here, we're going to move into a Malasana squat. So, left foot steps forward onto the left-hand side of the mat. Come onto your arms, onto your hands, yeah. Left foot step forward, okay, into Malasana squat. So squat down. Okay, so feet are pointed outwards, knees open, hands come to prayer, and with your hands, you're going to gently push your knees away from you. A really good stretch. Again, we're here for a few breaths, so just find stillness in this pose, making sure that you're pushing your knees away from you with your forearms. Okay, from here, ground hands in front of you, and now step your right leg back. And now we're in a lizard pose on the other side. Okay, so keep your right leg straight. Maybe bring your left foot a little bit more forward. Okay, and allow that left knee to really flip open so you can get a nice stretch in that hip. Again, find stillness in this pose. Remember to keep on inhaling through your nose and out through your mouth. Okay, so from here you can come straight back up onto your hands, okay? And bring your left knee back to kneeling, to meet your right knee kneeling, okay? So come back to a tabletop position. Perfect. And now we're going to flow through the same on the left-hand side. So, left knee extends backwards. Make sure it's nice and straight. Hover the foot off the mat, okay? And bring it to your left tricep and really hook it there. While it's up there, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. It's hovering, your left foot is hovering off the ground. Yes, perfect. Extend it back. Straighten your leg, hover it. And exhale, left knee to left tricep and really hook it there. Try and hover your left foot off the ground. Perfect. Inhale, leg comes back. Okay. And exhale, left knee to left tricep. This time try and get it a little bit higher than what you did before. That's amazing. And now step forward with your left foot into lizard. So from here, we are going to again move into our Malasana squat. So step forward with your right leg, okay, on the right side of the mat. Perfect. Try drop your heels, okay, so we're standing flat feet. Drop your tailbone to the floor so you get a really nice stretch if you can balance. Okay, and push your knees out. Again, find balance in this. We're here for a few seconds. So find stillness and control your balance.
I have to lift my leg and feet a bit.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, so now slowly pushing through your feet, we are going to begin to rise to a standing position. So come up slowly with control, handstand prayer position. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to do a little swivel. So feet stay where they are. And from here, I want you to swivel to the right-hand side, okay, on the balls of your feet, around to face the back of the mat. Once you get there, do a nice little curtsy squat. And lean down. Perfect. We're here for a few breaths. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So inhale back up to rising, come through the center, rotate through the balls of your foot on the other side. Perfect. And the same thing, squat down. Amazing. Okay. Again, inhale, rise, and you can meet me in center. Perfect. Okay, so where you are now, I want you to bring your feet together. Okay, and we're gonna rise our hands up to high mountain. Okay, and extend down to mountain pose. Okay, take a few, no, just stand straight, yeah. Tadasana, mountain pose. Make sure that your shoulders are back, roll them back, try feel them sort of pushing together, touching together and down. You really, really want to bring your shoulder blades down for a really nice posture. Okay. Find stillness, make sure palms are facing towards the front of the mat, so in front of you, and we're here for a few breaths. Okay, from here we're going to be moving into Utkatasana, chair pose. So gently bend your knees and sweep the ground with your fingertips. Perfect. Sit low, make sure that all the weight is sitting in your heels. So you should be able to lift your toes off the floor, okay? Make sure that your arms are in line with your ears. Perfect. Okay, from here we're going to come down into Malasana with feet together. So, exactly like we did before, we're just keeping our feet together now. So come down, open up your knees, allow the heels to come off the floor. Perfect. Okay, and you want to really bend round through the spine. So again, we're creating a rounding of the spine. Perfect. Make sure, hook, try and get this lower. You want to hook your top tricep into your knees because this is the pose we are prepping for crow pose. Perfect. So you really want to create a nice, you want to be nice and compact. So get even lower if you can. And remember to round the spine. You can round your spine even more. Perfect. Okay, so hands can now ground in front of you if you've got space. Option here to step or jump back into plank. So you can just step back into plank. Meet me in a plank position. Perfect. Okay. Come a little bit lower if you can. Straighten your back, but make sure you're not dropping into those shoulders. Create a nice, strong base here. Perfect. Okay. So now we are going to go into downward facing dog, but don't rush. I want you to go into downward facing dog within 5 seconds. Perfect. So 3, 4, 5. The slower you go down into downward facing dog, it just builds up more strength into your arms. Amazing. Okay. So it's very important to get the tailbone up. So a way to adjust that is bend your knees. Okay. Try and lift this up even. Amazing. Yeah, that's perfect. So it's a nice little adjustment. So whenever you're not sure if your tailbone's sitting up enough, bend your knees, get that tailbone up, and then straighten your legs. Okay, so we are now going to go into a 3-legged dog. So raise your right leg if you've got space. Okay, perfect. Raise your right leg. Okay, now exactly what we did in the beginning, we're going to create the same hook. Okay. So exhale, right knee comes and hooks to the top of the right tricep. Perfect. As you lean forward, okay? Make sure to focus on your drishti, so look forward just to help. Perfect. Inhale, leg goes back to 3-legged dog. Make sure you're pushing through your hands. And exhale, come back and hook that knee up onto the tricep. Perfect. Inhale, leg goes back to 3-legged dog. And exhale, hook again. Okay, make sure you're getting contact with the upper right. That's perfect. Try, if you can, lift it a little bit higher. Okay, this time I want you to lean forward a little bit more. Look forward, lean forward. Okay, we're here for a few breaths. And right leg goes back up to 3-legged dog and downward facing dog. Okay. So once we've taken a few breaths here, I want you to look forward and take a few steps forward to the front of the mat. Okay, perfect. Okay. We are going to come into Malasana squat. So fold up, come to standing. Perfect. Hands in prayer, and again we are going to make our way down. So feet stand together, open up the knees. Perfect. Okay.
Open the knees.
Open the knees to come into Malasana squat. Okay, so as you come down, yeah, again nice and compact. Okay, try and get rounding of the spine. So you really want to feel a nice rounding here. Try round it even more if you can. And again, remember we're trying to hook this and this together. So our triceps, yeah. Hook it a little bit more. Yeah. Oh. Okay, there, that's perfect. Okay. Rounding, rounding, rounding. That's fantastic. Okay, and from here we're going to push through the feet, okay, and meet in Utkatasana. So from there, we're going to sweep the floor with the hands, meet in chair pose, sweep the floor and come to chair pose. There we go, perfect. And we're just here for a few seconds. Okay. Inhale, raise to standing, high mountain. And exhale to Tadasana. Take a few moments here. Palms face outwards towards the front of the mat. Just try and get back to your breath here. Be conscious of your inhaling and your exhaling. Okay. From here, I want you to come down. Okay, so halfway bend. Yeah, place your fingertips on the floor in front of you, and you're going to step back into plank. Perfect. Nice and strong plank. Make sure you're not dropping into your shoulders. So really try lift up. Perfect. Get your drishti. So look forward. And from here, we're going to repeat the same that we did on the right side, but now we're going to do it on the left-hand side. So left leg, right, downward facing dog. My apologies. Perfect. Try and lengthen just a wider stance, a little bit more. Perfect, yeah. There we go. We're here for a few seconds. You may have to move forward, or you can have space too. Okay. So left leg rises. Inhale, left leg rises. Perfect. And left leg goes to left tricep. Fantastic. Inhale, left leg rises. And exhale to left tricep. Really try hook it there. Fantastic. Inhale, left leg rises, and exhale, hook it. This time, I want you to spend a little bit more time here. Look forward, focus on your drishti points, okay? Lean forward, look forward. Amazing, okay? And hold. And inhale, leg back up to three-legged dog, and downward facing dog. Okay, so from here, we are going to look forward and step to the top of the mat, okay? Legs together, Formalasana squat. So again, we're gonna go down. Yeah, while you're there, go down, slowly go down. Knees open up, yeah, towards you. With your hands, you're gonna push your knees away from you. Again, remember the most important aspects of this pose is to round the spine. So round it, try and get as compact as possible. And again, try and make contact over here. So you don't want any space. You want to try and grip it. Try and get your shoulders to where your knees are. Okay, perfect. And we stay there for a few breaths. Okay, from here we're going to raise up to standing. So inhale, raise it, fantastic. Arms up to high mountain. And exhale, lower arms into Tadasana, mountain pose. Okay, we're also here for a few breaths. So take a moment just to control the breathing. Find stillness in your body as we prepare to move onto our next flow. Okay, so once we've taken a few breaths here, we are now going to go through our moon salutation. Okay, so on the inhale, I want you to extend your hands up above your head into prayer position. And release your index finger so that you've got this. Perfect, okay. From here, I want you to really extend through your spine, so lengthen even more. And as we inhale, we are going to reach to the right-hand side for half moon. Perfect. And meet back to center, okay? Do another nice little stretch through the spine and go to your left-hand side for half moon. Perfect. Meet me back in center. Okay, I want you now to take a step with your left foot to the back of the mat to meet in goddess pose. Perfect, yes. So feet pointing outwards. Your hands are going to come, yes, into almost a shape like that. Bend your elbows. Yes. And really flare your fingertips. Perfect. Make sure that your knees are really pointing outwards and get lower. So you may want to take one tiny step to the right. Yes, that's perfect. And really squat into goddess. That looks great. We take a few breaths here. Okay, I want you now to straighten your legs. So straighten both legs. Your right leg turns out 90 degrees, okay? And the left turns out 30 degrees, so tiny, okay? Yeah, so that comes in, perfect, okay? You can now straighten your arms, and we are going to meet in triangle pose. So arms straight before you move, arms straight, perfect, okay? Reach to the right, place your right hand on your right shin, okay, fantastic, and look up. Really lengthen and straighten. So you may want to just lengthen your stance a little bit more. So step back a little bit with this foot, yeah, okay, perfect. And breathe. So inhale through the mouth and exhale through the nose. So the whole point here is you really want to extend your waist and picture your ribs almost turning sideways, yeah, to get an extra stretch. That's perfect. Okay. So now we're going to move into pyramid pose. So swivel on the ball of your back foot, okay, inwards. So you're going to swivel your ball inwards, yeah, perfect. And we're going to come down into pyramid. So try and get the forehead onto your knee if you can. So bend over onto that knee. Make sure that your hips are squared forward. Okay, and we're here for a few breaths. So make sure you're comfortable, make sure there's no niggles. But we're really trying to open up the hips and round the back, so that looks beautiful. Okay, from here, bend the right knee. Okay, and left knee to come onto the mat, because we're going to meet in Ujjayi-Asana. Yeah, so bend, left knee to mat, okay, and Ujjayi-Asana. So we're going to lunge into that, and we're going to take a slight back bend. So arms up, inhale and exhale for a slight back bend. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so from here we are going to move into Skandasana. Okay, so to do that, swivel your right knee to face the front of the mat. Bring hands to prayer. Yeah, so we're going to face that side. So swivel, okay, that way. Yeah, perfect. And you can put your hands on the floor just for balance. Left toe points upwards. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to stay here. Yeah, that's perfect. And then we're going to walk the hands through the center to bring it to the other side. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Here for a few breaths. Now turn to face the back of the mat. So swivel your left foot in. Turn to face the back of the mat. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. And we're now going to go into Ujjayi-Asana. So sweep hands up. Perfect. And a slight back bend. Yeah. And try and lengthen as you go back. Reach back a little bit more. Try and keep your hands in line with your ears. Perfect. Okay. And from here, bring hands to the mat. Okay. Flatten hands on the mat. Straighten your front leg. So we're going to step up, straighten front leg and the back. Sorry, from here, yes, perfect, okay. And we're gonna come to pyramid pose, perfect. Square the hips and try and touch your forehead onto your left knee. Maybe try and step this leg out a tiny bit, yes, there we go. And we're here for a few breaths. So from here, we're going into triangle pose. So right leg turns out 30 degrees. You can come up, okay. Arms to straighten. We're facing the other side, perfect. Lengthen through the left-hand side, okay. You can now straighten your left knee, okay. Lengthen towards the back of the mat, yeah. Place hand on the shin, place it on the shin. Okay, and reach up, perfect. Remember, what you want to do here is try and extend, yes, lengthen and roll forward, that's perfect. Okay, inhale, and I want you to release hands and come to goddess pose. So both feet turn outwards and we're going to come into goddess pose, yeah. Try still straighten these arms, yes, yeah, perfect. Okay, amazing. And we're here for a few breaths. It's looking really good. Okay, now I want you to take a big step to the back of the mat. Okay, yeah, big step to the back of the mat, release hands. Yeah, perfect. And take a few breaths here. So we are now going to move into our moon salutation, but just on the opposite side. So I want you to bring your hands up overhead, Okay, perfect. In prayer prayer up there with your index finger. Perfect. Again, I want you to lengthen through the spine. And this time we're going to take a big inhale and exhale as we move towards the left. So bend towards the left, get a really nice stretch. Perfect. And come through center. And inhale and really try to lengthen again there and move to the right hand side. Perfect. Come to center. Bring hands down. So from here, we are going to step with your right foot, a big step out to the side with your right foot into goddess pose. Perfect. Remember to bring your knees outwards, squat lower if you can. Pick up this a little bit more, yeah, and stay strong in that pose. That's perfect. From here, we are going to straighten your legs. Okay, so come up, straighten both legs, straighten arms as we prepare for triangle pose. Your left leg turns out 90 degrees, which it already is, and right foot turns 30 degrees. Perfect. Into triangle pose. Great. Try and grab your shin. Yeah, there we go. And this goes a little bit more, and already you've done the variation. Fantastic. That looks beautiful. And we're here for a few breaths. So now moving into pyramid, swivel the ball of your back foot a bit in so that you can square off your hips, okay? Hands are placed on the mat and you gently go forward and try and touch your forehead onto your front leg. Perfect. We're here for a few breaths, so again, try to find stillness in the pose and remembering to round through that spine. I want you now to bend your left knee, okay? Squat into that left knee. Right knee drops to the floor. Hands, inhale as we go up with the hands. And we're going to come to Ujjayi, so slight back bend, okay? Slight back bend. Gaze up. Make sure that your arms are in line with your ears. Perfect. And reach up. We're now going to turn into Skandasana. So options for hands in prayer. So hands come onto the mat. You're going to swivel, okay, onto your left foot, okay. So we're here. Swivel onto the left foot and the right foot to face upwards, pointing upwards. Try to get it in a line. Perfect, okay. And just stay here for a moment, for a few breaths. We're now going to move the hands through the center and swift it onto the other side. Perfect. Remember, toes pointing upwards. Feeling a really nice stretch there. That looks great. If you can, try and get your hands into center. Just try and see if you can hold it.
To center?
Yeah, to prayer. So
prayer.
try and see if you can balance. Perfect. So the next time you do this, try and immediately go into prayer and try and move through Skandasana in prayer. Perfect. Okay. So ground the hands back on the floor. Okay. Turn to face the front of the mat and we're going to go back into Anjaneyasana. Perfect. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Now keep the leg bent and sweep the ground with the arms and up for a slight back bend. Perfect. Remember to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Okay. Release hands to ground. Come up and straighten your right leg for pyramid pose. Okay, so keep that stance you had. Keep it a little bit more back. Perfect. Remember, left foot to turn a little bit more in. Try square your hips. Yeah, that's it. Okay. And now forward to try and touch knees. So bend, feel the roundness in the spine. Perfect. And we're here for a few breaths. Okay, so now we are going to go into triangle pose. So ground your heel, toes turned out, okay. Straighten your leg, right leg to shin, Straighten your leg, yeah. Right leg to shin. Okay. And top hand extends to the ceiling. Look up. Remember to really lengthen through the spine. Amazing that you're turning already. That looks fantastic. Release shoulders away from the ears. Amazing. Makes such a difference. Inhale, and we're going to come for goddess pose. Again, inhale. Release those hands so both feet turn outward. Fantastic. And we're going to come to a nice, strong goddess pose. Again, just try and see if you can pull these knees out a little bit more on either side. Keep your hand really nice and strong. So release those hands. Yeah, perfect. Okay. I want you to take a big step and meet at the top of the mat. Big step here. Arms go up. Deep breath in and exhale. Meet into Tadasana. Perfect. Take a few breaths here. Okay, we are now going to move into a standing figure 4. Okay, so I want you to take your left knee over your right leg. Perfect, yeah, you can guide it if you want. Okay, hands come to prayer, and you're going to squat down slowly. Try to get really low. Okay, and hold there for at least 2 breaths. Perfect. And gently come up. So from here, I want you to take a big step open into star. So right leg steps outwards, okay? Straighten both knees and both hands come up, okay, overhead. Maybe try and increase your stance a little bit more, so a little bit more. Yeah, perfect. And we're going to come into star, okay, and look up. Try, really straighten the elbows, straighten, yeah, nice strong pose, perfect. Okay, I want you now to turn your toes slightly forward and forward fold. Okay, so slowly control with straight hands, control as you forward fold, perfect. While you're here, I want you to make sure that your hands are in line with your shoulders, okay, so maybe a little bit more forward towards the front of the mat. Perfect. Look forward. Okay. I want you now to come up onto the balls of your foot, just a little bit if you can, okay? The balls of your foot, yeah. And I want you to lean forward. Again, what we're trying to do here is just practice what we're going to be doing in crow. So see what it feels like to lean into that. Also getting an extra stretch in the wrist. Perfect. Come, lean forward a little bit more if you can. Okay, release the heel of your foot onto the mat. Perfect. Okay. Focus your drishti. I want you now to turn your right toe to face the front of the mat. Okay, I want you now to swivel your right foot to face the back of the mat. We should be at the front of the mat, but I've boo-booed it. Perfect, okay, and we're going to come into triangle again. So straight, before you go into that, straighten your arms, okay, lean forward to the one side, so really feel that extension. Perfect. Hand to shin and arm up, making sure that your shoulders are pulled away from your ears and you're getting that really nice twist. Also ensure that the hand, this arm is straight. Perfect. Okay, we're now going to swivel onto the back of the foot, coming into pyramid. Okay, so swivel your left foot, perfect, so that we can square off the hips, yes, and lean down into pyramid. I've noticed that you always shorten your stance. You don't always need to. If you're...
Too sore.
Okay, fine. Okay. And we're here for a few breaths. Bend your front knee, so bend the right knee, and you know this already, we're going to go into Ujjayi, so drop the left knee, hands sweep the floor, inhale all the way up, lengthen through the spine, okay, and a slight back bend. So remember to try and place your arms in line with your ears, yeah, and a little bit more. You can go a little bit more. Get your head back. Okay, perfect. And we're here for a few breaths. So bring your arms down to the mat. Okay, turn right toes outwards and step left foot into Malasana squat. So you know this already. So you're just going to bring perfect position, yes, and we're going to come into Malasana. Amazing. Again, so the main purpose of this pose, you want to try and get down as low as possible. So where your shoulders is, try and drop the front of your body. Yes, that's it. That's amazing. Yeah, and we're there for a few breaths. Again, so all these poses prep us for our peak pose at the end. And what you're in now is very similar shape to what we're going to be doing at the end for our crow pose. So that's fantastic, Taryn. Okay. Just going to stay here for a few breaths. So again, find stillness in this pose. If you can, try and drop your tailbone over here just a little bit more. See if it can come lower to the floor. See, without losing your balance. Okay. Focus your drishti as well. So don't look all, yes, perfect adjustment. You can now ground your hands. Left foot steps back into a low lunge. Left foot back into a low lunge. Perfect, yes. Okay, and we're going to move into Skandasana 2, which should be back of mat, but now we're going to front of mat. So again, like we've done before, so you're just going to swivel onto your right foot. Okay, left foot turns up. Again, over here, like you did the last time, try and come into prayer. So try and find that balance. Amazing. Now, if you can, hold that, but without placing your hands on the mat, try and see if you can move on to the other side. Okay, no, it's fine. Okay, so perfect, amazing. Well, at least you've got the balance now, just on the side, and you can just continue practicing that. That looks fantastic. No problem, the chair's there to help. Okay, now once you ground your hands, sorry, just so that you can get the balance. Now face the front of the mat. So again, just swivel so you face the front of the mat. Okay. And again, we're going to meet in Ujjayi. So before you go up, I want you to sweep the floor, amazing. Up and go for a slight back bend. So before you go into that back bend, I want you to lengthen even more. So try lengthen, push your spine up. Okay? And now once you've got that, then go into a slight back bend. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. From there, you can ground your hands, bring your hands back onto the mat. Okay. Legs to straighten, and we're coming to pyramid pose. So straighten your left leg, yeah. Does it hurt if you widen it even more? Where does it hurt? As much, I mean my calves. Okay, fine. So pyramid pose. Remember to try and square your hips. So in order to square that, get that, yes, perfect. Get that. Square your hips, amazing. And try and get that forehead as close to the shin as possible. We're going to take a few moments here. Okay, from here, I want you to ground that right foot back into triangle pose. So come into triangle, straighten your left leg, yeah. Come up, straight arms. Perfect. Lengthen through the side, drop it down, hand on shin, place it on the shin, and arms up. Perfect. So from here, we're going to move into goddess pose. So hands come up, step out, feet go outward, perfect. And we're going to kneel down into a nice strong goddess pose. Yes, perfect, perfect, perfect. And we're here for a few counts. Remember, strong hands. Okay, now we're going to step to the front of the mat, big step to the front of the mat. Arms go up, amazing, to high mountain. And exhale, release, arms back down to the side. Palms facing forward for Tadasana, mountain pose. Tadasana is really, really important just to try and catch your breath and just to feel what your body's saying to you. And again, we're here for a few breaths. Perfect. Okay. Remember in Tadasana, roll your shoulders back towards each other and then down slightly. Focusing on our posture here. Maybe don't look up, just try and look straight in front of you. Yeah, we don't want to scrunch the neck, much better. Okay. Now we are going to repeat everything we've just done, but on the left-hand side. Okay, so you know where we're going with most things. And then after this, we'll be moving into our peak pose, which is crow pose. Very exciting. Okay, so the body is all warm now, our hips are nice and opened, our wrists are flexible and warm, and we're all ready for crow pose. Okay, so I want you to bring your left shin over your right leg. Okay, left shin, yeah, for standing figure 4. Okay, try before you, okay, come up again. Okay, lower your leg down. So before you squat or anything, I want you to find your balance. So find your balance, find stillness, and then slowly go into standing figure 4, okay? You can stop there, and I want you to take 2 breaths now. So really try and find stillness and focus on your balance. Okay, I want you to come up and take a big step with your left leg out to star. So left leg, straighten both legs. Yeah, a big, nice wide stance. I know you don't like those wide stances, but wide stance. Perfect. And hands go up into star. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So I want you to turn your toes in slightly. So toes in slightly. And we are going to now go into a forward fold, which is called a wide-legged forward fold. Remember to slowly go. The slower you go, the more strength you build up. Perfect. Ensure that your wrists are underneath your shoulders, stacked underneath your shoulders. Perfect. And like we're doing on the other side, I want you to slowly come up onto the balls of your feet and rock forward. Remember focusing on your drishti. Yeah, so look forward. Find a nice focal point, okay? So what we're doing here is getting an extra stretch in those wrists. Perfect. Look forward. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Release the balls of your feet onto the mat. Okay. Perfect. And now turn your left toe to face the mat and right toe turn 30 degrees as we are now going to come into our triangle pose. So come up. Okay. Come up. Arms. So you're facing the other way. So we're coming into triangle. Yeah. So arms like this. Perfect. Okay. A little bit of a wider stance. Perfect. Right foot to come slightly more inwards. So it's more at a 30-degree angle. Perfect. Okay. We're going to lean forward to the left. Okay. And as you do that, cartwheel the hands down, hand on shin, and reach up. Remember, draw these shoulders back from the ear and rotate those ribs. Perfect. Looks really good. Take a nice big inhale and exhale through the mouth. Swivel onto the ball of your back foot, okay, to square your hips. Yeah, and we're going to meet in pyramid. Sorry, swivel this way, inwards, to square your hips, because we come into pyramid. Yeah, so make sure your right foot is straight. Sorry, yeah, pyramid. If you can, just widen your stance a tiny bit, yeah. Try and square those hips here. Perfect. And we're there for a few breaths. remember, while we're here, we're inhaling through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Okay. Bend your front knee, lower your right knee onto the mat, and we're coming into Ujjayi. So remember, brush the floor with those hands, lift up through the spine, and as we lift up, we're going to take a nice back bend, a slight back bend. Perfect. Arms come down to mat. Okay. I want you now, while you're there, perfect, okay. I want you to take your left foot and step it to the outside of your left hand into Malasana squat.
My right foot.
Your right foot, sorry. Your right foot to the right hand into Malasana squat. So, okay. Drop that tailbone down a little bit without sitting on Jagger. Okay, perfect. And nice. The compression that you're getting is fantastic. Far better. Yeah, amazing. Try rounding through the spine and focus on your drishti. Amazing. And we're here for a few breaths. Perfect. Rounding in the spine. Okay, so from here we are going to move into Skandasana. So ground your hand on the floor. Your right leg steps back into a low lunge. Right leg back into a low lunge. Yes, perfect. Okay. And we're going to go into Skandasana. So your right knee to be off the floor, off the mat. Yeah. Okay. And we're now going to swivel again to face that way. So swivel on your left foot. Okay. Right toes pointing upwards. Again, if you can, just try and balance for me. Perfect. Just for a few seconds. Perfect. Now bring your hands back down to the mat as we're going to move through Skandasana to the other side. Go slowly. Slowly, slowly. Okay. And again. Ensure that your left foot is, yes, pointing upwards. Amazing. Okay. I want you now to face the front of the mat. So turn to face the front of the mat. Ground the right knee, perfect. And we're going to again come into... Okay, perfect. Ground it. Okay, so with your... That's perfect. Yeah. Ground like that. And we're going to come into Ujjayi. So again, sweep. No, Jagger. It's going to bite me. Sweep the floor. Amazing. Take a deep breath in. Lengthen through the spine before you go back, and then go back slowly into a soft back bend. Amazing. Reach up. Okay. We're now going into pyramid pose. So come up onto your feet. Great. Nice stance there. Yes, I like that. Okay. So square, before you go there, square off the hips. Yes. So turn that foot in a little bit more. Okay. And we're there in pyramid pose for a while. Perfect. If you can, just try and challenge yourself on the last one. Try and bring your hands to mat if possible. Yeah, just for a few breaths. Just so we're getting an extra nice stretch. Amazing. Now I want you to ground your feet as we go into triangle pose. So swivel your right foot a tiny 30 degrees out. Sorry, your left foot. Yeah, okay. Hands overhead and straighten. Reach forward to extend that side. Drop down onto your shin and look up. Amazing. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I want you to come up slowly. Okay. Inhale, turn both feet out and come into goddess pose. So nice, strong goddess pose. Yes, perfect, perfect, perfect. If you can, lean slightly back. Yes, there we go. That's amazing. Perfect. That looks great. And hold. You can now take a big step to the front of the mat. Big step to the front of the mat, perfect. Hands up for high mountain, big inhale through the nose and exhale, release everything into Tadasana. Amazing. And we're here for a few breaths. And roll the shoulder blades backwards and in towards each other and down. And focus on your drishti right in front of you. Don't scrunch the neck. So you're looking a little bit too high. Focus forward. There we go. So we always want to make sure we've got a nice neutral spine and neutral neck. We don't want any tension in our neck. Amazing. So from here, we are going to move into our chair pose. So before you go into it, okay, make sure you bend your knees. So bend your knees, okay. Come down low and sweep the mat with your fingertips. Yes. And then we're in chair pose. Remember to make sure that all the weight is sitting on your heels. So you should be able to lift up your toes. Yes, okay. And sit lower if you can. Also be conscious of where your arms are. Ensure that your arms are in line with your ears, okay? Bring your head up a little bit more and those arms up a little. There we go, perfect. From here, we're gonna come down into Malasana squats. So hands in prayer, okay, hands in prayer. Slowly down, perfect, okay. Now, like you did before, we wanna really try and compress here. So hook your shoulders onto your knees. Perfect, yes, there we go. Get down like nice and low. You may have to move back a little bit. There we go, okay. Just as we're gonna be rocking forward. So what I'm gonna do for you here is just put a pillow down.
When I bash my head. Yeah.
Okay. So what we're gonna do here is you wanna try and hook. Remember we did all the hooking poses in the beginning. Hook your knees, so ground hands to the mat. Hook your knees onto your elbow, yeah. And don't go into anything yet. I just want you to get the sensation, okay? So squeeze your knees into your arms, yeah. And now just slowly begin to rock back and forth. Back and forth. Okay. Maybe bring your feet out a tiny bit, yeah. Bring your toes out a tiny bit, there we go, yeah. Yeah, does that feel better?
Yeah.
Okay. Try again, okay, just try to get the sensation. So rock back and forth. You also, look what I'm doing with my tailbone. Bring your tailbone up slightly, because it may help. So you here, bring your tailbone up slightly, okay? Try and get the knees into the shoulders, so your forearms, there we go. Bring your tailbone up and just gently rock forward, yeah. Okay, and rock back. Just get that sensation. And rock forward, okay. Now what you can do, while you're there, once you feel like you've got it and you've got a nice hook, remember, you're going to be able to do this by keep on squeezing your knees into your arms, okay? So you've got to be nice and strong. Then maybe begin to get one foot off the ground. There we go. Even if you can only do 1 foot off the ground now. And then the second one, fantastic. And you just, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's perfect. And that's all you keep on doing. And even if it's only for a split second, but just try and get the sensation of rocking. Yes. Perfect. Amazing. Make sure the toes are tucked under. Oh, yeah. I want you to try, because your knees seem to be facing quite far outwards, bring them in a little bit. So maybe, yeah, face them in. That looks much better already. Okay. Before you go for it, does it feel like it's hooking? So try and get that knee, can you try and get it, there we go. If you can try and keep it there, yeah, that's the sensation, that's what you want.
Under my wrists, it's not.
Okay. Lift up, yeah, there we go. 1 foot off, that's fantastic. That's perfect. Yes, that's amazing, that looks great. So just as long as you're getting that sensation, you're gripping, you've got the hook. That's really well done. Is that your first crow pose?
Or should I say yes for the video?
Is that
It's not. But I haven't done it in many years.
Okay.
I haven't done a crow pose in about 7 years.
Wow, but that's incredible. Okay, no, you did really well. So if you want to give it a bash one more time, again, just Be kind and gentle to your body. Amazing, and that pillow is there for you. That's perfect. Okay, so let's not tire out our wrists too much. So that's amazing. Maybe just come up to standing before we begin to warm down. And just gently twist your wrists around, just to release all that's been on them. Okay, we're now gonna go into our cool down session. Stand in Tadasana. Thank you, Taro. You've been a wonderful first client of mine.
Thank you.